Bueno, aquí estoy con el padre Jon Sobrino, que es un jesuita española que ha trabajado bastante años aquí en El Salvador. Y voy a preguntarte algunas cosas. But I think we'll do it in English.
Okay,
If that's all right, yeah. And if there's anything unclear, obviously just respond in Spanish.
Yeah.
So, 23 years later, after the death of your compañeros in your house, how is it that you came to return to El Salvador? How is it that you could overcome your fear to return and be with the people?
I was away when they were killed.
Yes.
I never had the slightest doubt that they would return. I mean, that was the obvious thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe my surprise to some people. And from Thailand, where I was when they were killed, I crossed the Pacific and I went to Santa Clara University, a Jesuit university in California. And I stayed there for a while because, I had very good friends, Jesuit at Santa Clara, and because when they were killed, the Jesuits in El Salvador, they all went to live together at Santa Tecla, and it was not obvious what was going to happen. So the Father Provincial here in San Salvador told me, don't come back right away, let's see what happens. Now, of course, I was shocked by the killings, that's obvious. But it never occurred to me not to come back. But not because I came here in '57. You know what I mean? So this is
your life.
My life, my home, and everything. And certainly, the place where I feel better.
Yeah, absolutely. And what brought you here in the beginning? How did you come to be in El Salvador?
In the beginning, I was a young novice, like many others.
Yeah. So you were ordained here in El Salvador.
I joined the Jesuits in the Basque Country, in northern Spain.
San Ignacio.
Where San Ignacio was born, yes. Yeah. And, from the novitiate, I, with others, came to El Salvador. And since then, I belong to the Central American province. And I spent my life here. Then I went to the United States and also to Germany to study philosophy and theology. And then I came back to work. And that was my life. Then in '74, I started working at the university, teaching theology. Then I got to know Father Rutilio Grande, who was assassinated in '77 in Aguilares, in the country. Then in 1980, Archbishop Romero was killed. I was a very, very good friend of him. Another 6 priests. Why do I mention that? Because the killing of the Jesuits, as terrible as it is, as unusual as it is, that 6 Jesuits working at universities. I don't know of any Jesuit university where the Jesuits have been assassinated. Anyway, but as terrible as it was not anything absolutely new. So I myself and other Jesuits of my generation got used to living in this type of situation. That if an archbishop is killed, anybody can be killed in this country, and certainly we Jesuits. So that was my life, and then I came back after the killings, and 23 years more or less have passed, and here we are.
And you're still here, yeah. And I guess maybe one of my questions now is, what would you say to the young people of El Salvador, and what would you say to the young people of countries like mine, world countries?
To young people of El Salvador, I live here, and I see them.
You see them every day?
I see them. Well, it's not easy because El Salvador, as we know, Salvador is a very, very, very poor country where life is not taken for granted. It's not like Australia, like the Basque Country, like the United States. No. But what happens from a social perspective. The first world, with its false ideals, is pouring down here. Huh? That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Huh? So it is what I would like to do, and we don't want to go back to times where quite a few young people went to the mountains. Yeah? Some of them to hide, some to work, and some to fight. So I don't want to go back to years of war. But I don't like how life is right now. I don't.
It's like materialistic now.
It's not materialistic. Poor people being materialistic, that's awful.
Yeah.
Wealthy people in Australia being materialistic, that's the obvious thing. Huh? But anyway, so why would I tell the young people in Australia? Well, nothing, because I don't know young people. But in a way, that they are honest and ask themselves only one question. Do they live in the real planet Earth or not? You know, just to put it blunt.
And how would, what would you say to young people who have a desire to do something in the third world, or who want to create a more just society? What do you think the best thing is?
Well,
education?
there are different ways. It's not one or the other.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, not education, to have knowledge, to know. CNN doesn't convey the real truth of the world. Part of it, yes. I'm not saying that they lie all the time. But that they have, but that's quite a miracle in the first world. Quite a miracle. To have the conviction that they are, a little bit ignorant, or quite ignorant. Do they know a little bit about Haiti, or Congo, Belgium Congo? Do they know what the coltan, a raw material, which has originated a war, so that the multinationals in the first world can accumulate that raw material coltan to build missiles and also that type of thing? Do they know that? Maybe they do. Yeah. But so at least that they have the suspicion that they know much less than they think they do. And I say this because I have gone through the same process, not because I know a lot, but at least this is important. Now, once you have that suspicious, at least, well, there are ways of moving forward, well, reading journals, books, going through formation, and then spending vacations. In this country, very few people have vacation. That's the concept of the first world, vacation, tourism. But anyway, I invite all of them to come here, or to go to Africa, or someplace close to Australia, so that the trip Cambodia, wherever.
The Pacific.
So that might help them, that might change them a little bit or a lot, or that may not. But I think if seeing real poverty, real injustice, smelling poverty, I say, if you don't smell poverty, you are not quite, you don't know what it is. So try to get close to the real world. Then after that, what do you do? And for how long? Maybe for a summer or 2 weeks? I'm sure some young people around the world, the first world, will go to London because of the Olympics. And it's taken for granted in the first world that going to London for the Olympics makes sense, right? And it's not taken for granted at all that there are another Olympics. The Olympics of poverty, but also the Olympics of solidarity, of love to other fellow human beings. Well, along those lines, I would say a word to my friends in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. So maybe one more question.
Yeah.
What would you say to the hierarchy of the church today? What would be your advice to them?
Well, I would say that to the hierarchy, to those who are not hierarchy, who belong to the Catholic Church or other Christian churches, that they put their eyes, or our eyes, on Jesus of Nazareth. Not on the wonderful St. Peter's Square of the Vatican. That's something else. If they want to go there, with that. Yeah, well, I'm a little bit disappointed, at times a lot disappointed with the hierarchy. Yeah? Same way I'm disappointed with politicians, with democracies. So it's not just the hierarchy. But I think well, our chance is Jesus of Nazareth, not an abstract Christ. Believing in Christ as such doesn't mean much. Huh? Trying to follow a little bit Jesus of Nazareth, that helps a lot. So I would, I pray for that. You know what I mean? I pray for that, and also other people pray for me, so that I go that way. My fear is that we hide Jesus of Nazareth, and you can hide him even if you put him behind the Christ, the King of the universe. Jesus of Nazareth was no king of the universe or anything like that. He was a man who loved those in suffering, as well, the poor, all that, the things we know, we read in the gospel. So that's it. It's not that I am bitter, because that's something else. But it's sad when we lose sight of Jesus of Nazareth. And it's sad for the world, because he, with other persons who have come through history, with him humanity has a chance. Without him or people like him, I don't see too much of a chance. Right?